everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of my Orchid Adventures with me, Maria Young. So today we are gathered here in my garden to showcase to you my latest and greatest Vandacious orchid haul, in which I actually have 7 orchids to show you. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and also 7 way back there. And in this video, I'm actually going to only be doing a brief overview on each one of these because I do want to do an orchid in review on each individual one. So I'll share with you the details in those videos. Please stay tuned for them. And with that being said, let the showcasing begin. And our very first Vandacious orchid that we have today is this beautiful one right here. And this is a Vanda Fragrance Nick, which is a tessellata hybrid, of which you definitely can see in the features of this bloom. And taking a close look at the flower bloom, you are seeing the extremities in here. Very extreme tessellated pattern and also very extreme contrast in color. You are seeing the background underneath that webbing, and it is a very nice, almost neon green. And then on top, which is the overlay or the tessellated pattern, you are noticing a very deep purple that actually looks like black. So indeed, extreme colors on this one. And then if we take a look at that tongue, look at those striations, a very nice deep purple in there as well. So coming together to form such a wonderful, very lovely, and very eye-catching bloom. And another wonderful feature about this bloom is the fact that the outer edges of the petals and the sepals are rippled. So indeed, nice ripple action going on, and definitely adds to the charm and the beauty of this bloom. And of course, we cannot forget to mention the highlight and also the strong trait that this takes from the tessellata, because this is fragrant just like the tessellata, very strong in its fragrance and very lovely in its scent. And this is a wonderful orchid that indeed loves to bloom. As you can see, this one spike is currently in action. Then we take a look back here. There is also another spike in there. And looking back to the past, we're also seeing spikes that have already bloomed. So indeed, this is a reliable bloomer. And if you take good care of her, she will take good care of you. And look at here, folks. She also has a brother right here, somewhat smaller than she is. But if we take a look, this little guy wants to bloom as well, as you can see with the spike. So indeed, a Vanda that is very well known for its blooming power. Okay, and the next one up is this big uns right here. This is about 3 feet long, and this is a full-grown offshoot that was cut off from Mama. So if you see how big this one is, can you imagine how humunga dunga big Mama was? And this is a Vanda thenantess times a thenan barg, also known as the Vanda Te Su Quan. And check out the beautiful display of blooms that she has. This is a Vanda that has blooms that are green on green. Let's take a closer look and you'll see exactly what I mean. So if we take a closer look, you are noticing the background color as a yellowish greenish color. But then if we take a look, you're also seeing a tessellated pattern that is also a darker green. So there you have it, that green on green. Definitely beautiful to see in this blossom. And then if we take a look at the lip right there, you are seeing a salmon color pink on the lip. Definitely a nice color combination and such a beautiful and fragrant bloom. And right here we have a Vanda that is so bold and extreme and very lovely in its patterns and also in its colors. This is a Vanda Kultana fragrance times with a Vanda Luzunica. And will you check out her gorgeous display of blossoms? Oh my, she is a bloomer that blooms in abundance. And looking at her blossoms, you definitely are going to get that Lizunica feel with the form and also the colors that she has. You are seeing a nice magenta color, and you are also noticing that very pristine white. Indeed, quite a lovely contrast in color. And if we take a look at the bottom portion of the bottom sepals, oh my, look at those striations. How gorgeous is that? Definitely such a wonderful pattern on this. You're noticing splotches and also some freckling and some spots right there too as well. So definitely very bold in her pattern. And also, just to mention, she is lightly fragrant as well. And let us check out this little darling right here. And this is a Vanda Paxorn fragrance. And although this is quite the little guy, this is capable of blooming at such a small size. Here you're noticing a prior spike, so she already has bloomed, and of course she is currently in bloom action now as well. So indeed, it does not have to be that big for this to have that capability of blooming, which is always wonderful when we talk about Vandas. And the color on this Vanda is somewhat of a reddish brownish color. And as you're seeing, such a wonderful leopard-like spotting and splotches all throughout each and every one of her petals and sepals, which brings about such a wild and very interesting pattern on her bloom. So definitely quite an attraction on this Vanda. Also, what's very wonderful about this flamboyant Vanda right here is its tongue and lip area as well. A nice magenta color and intermingled with that white. You're also noticing some striations going on in there as well. But what I do love the most about the lip and tongue area is the fact that it has that nice flaring at the bottom as well. You definitely see where it begins to flare out. Definitely quite a nice feature to this very bold and flamboyant bloom. And another feature that you cannot get over with this Vanda is the fact that it is so intoxicatingly fragrant. Just such a scrumptious bloom on this, and you will definitely take notice of how beautiful and lovely her fragrance is. And you better believe I did save the best for last. You know, I do believe in the fact that beauty lies within your uniqueness, and this indeed is one of the most unique blooms I have ever seen. And it's quite amazing that it comes from a Vandacious orchid. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at those blooms now. And this orchid right here is an Arides Lawrenceae. And the structure of this orchid, once it becomes mature and well established, can actually have a clumping nature where you can find this growing into such a massive size. This is quite a beautiful species orchid. And even when in bud, this orchid has such a unique shape. Look at that. Look at those buds right there. You're definitely seeing a moon shape and also a hook at the bottom of the bud. Definitely quite a nice treat, even when in bud, folks. Oh, but when it is in bloom, oh my goodness, how spectacular and how unique is the form of this bloom. I can't even say enough. Oh my goodness, look at that. It kind of reminds me of Jigglypuff off of Pokemon. Don't ask me why, but indeed, such a fabulous, fabulous shape on this Vandacious orchid. And it's just a treat and an eyeful just to gaze upon this beautiful, beautiful and very unique orchid right here. So as we're taking a look at the shape of the bloom, you're definitely still seeing that hook shape kind of coming forward in front of the bloom. So very unique in shape. And then as we take a look at the actual bloom itself, colored in that very nice pristine, very clean white, and then you're noticing nice magenta markings on the outer area of the tip of the petals and sepals, and also within the inner area of this balloon shape right here. And if we take a look, we're asking, where are their reproductive organs? Oh my gosh, we have no shame at all. We want to see it all. Well, what a surprise this orchid has, because this balloon shape or this round puffy shape is actually somewhat of a shield, because hidden behind, peekaboo, right there. There you have it. And looking in, that's the throat area right there. So how amazing is that? How amazing indeed. I am just so shocked at how unique this orchid is. By the way, peekaboo, peekaboo, peekaboo. So this is my peekaboo orchid right here. And I just love it so much. This is one of my most favorite Vandacious orchid. And although this blooms but only once a year, again, it is a species orchid, which you'll find that trait in many of your species. But indeed, it is just so well worth having these unique blooms. So much fun to have. I just want to pluck one off and play with them, actually. They kind of look like toys to me. I don't know. But yeah, I marvel in this very unique beauty right here. And the fragrance on this is just so amazing. It can fill up an entire room, not to mention my garden as well. Definitely so scrumptious. It drives me fruit loopy because that's kind of how it smells. Such a lemony fragrance, similar to a Phalaenopsis bellina or even a Holutiana. Indeed, definitely such a strong and mesmerizing fragrance on this Vandacious orchid. And there you have it, folks. That is a Vandacious orchid haul wrap. Now you guys have got to let me know exactly what you thought about these Vandacious orchids. Also, let me know which ones were your absolute favorite. And if you have one of these already or some of these already, please let me know what you feel about those orchids. And if you don't have them yet but want them, let me know which ones you've added to your wish list. Also, want to let you guys know that some of these orchids are actually going on my eBay site. So if you guys are interested, definitely check me out on my eBay. And I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of my orchid adventures. And as you guys already know, indeed I truly do love you all. And I will see you guys and I will grow with you guys later. Mwah!